What's going on, you guys, and welcome back. It's your boy Eileo with the video as promised. So just to bring you up to what's going on here, just in case you don't know, there was a maintenance error like a week or two ago, I think right around the time when Heroes Festival started, where people would like pull a Nat 5 and the game would just like kill itself. It would just crash and you wouldn't get a Nat 5. And 433 was actually kind enough to give out a free Nat 5 selection ticket that includes Hero Festival Mons within that ticket, obviously just RGB to everyone. So even if you didn't even pull or had nothing to do with this, like you literally just log into the game, I'm not sure what the amount of time is, maybe like even if you start the game today you can get this card, but we're gonna be taking a look at it. I just wanted to quickly mention to you guys, we still have the Valentine's Day festival going on, so that's a great way to get free Astro chips for Jiangxi that's coming up. That's a free way to get some gleams, get your Nat 5, get your Holy Gleam, get your little frame or whatever. It's still going on. Just make sure you're at least doing your dailies so you can get all kinds of the currency to completely just buy out that shop. But let's go ahead and get right into it, you guys. Also, I've seen that some of you guys have already went through and Super Evo'd Hana, which is fine. I just hope you have more so you can get some more Astro Gems for her festival in like a day or two. But anyways, we've went ahead and went through our inbox here and pulled up our Astromons from the selection card. Now we have Artemis, Barona, there's Onmyoji, Sanzang, Merlin, Bast, Hohenheim, Arthur, Valkyrie, Purse, Nightmare, Shiva, Odin, as I was saying before the random crash, Sun Wukong, Shinobi, Hades here, we have Zubaji, Xiao Jing, Jormungandr, we have Odin, Enkidu, and then Scheherazade, which is our newest Nat 5. Now, the biggest thing with the selection card is really geared towards what you're doing. In terms of the game. Like if you're a newer player out there, the Mons that I would already cross off this list for you is honestly the Mons that you can obtain through the Heroes Dungeon. So say for example we have, where are they at right here? Like Arthur, you can pick him through a contract. It's not a super big deal. Same thing with Valkyrie and Odin as well. So I would go ahead and just take all three of those off the board in terms of selection. Purse, I would take off the selection too, unless as a newer player you're trying to pick up a decent dedicated sapper. Fire Purse is a decent and very, very dedicated sapper. The same thing with Wet Artemis in that same department right there. I honestly wouldn't touch any of the Nightmares. I wouldn't touch Shiva at all, even though Water Shiva isn't that bad. Wood Shiva at this point, I wouldn't say he's worth picking, but it is what it is. Andrews, once again, while some of them are okay, I would ignore it. Wukong, he's available through the Hero Dungeon. You can also pick up, I think, Wood Shinobi from the Hero Dungeon, so you just need a Fire Shinobi to put him to use. And even with the recent buff to Water Shinobi, Fire Shinobi still top dog, especially with that attack up lead. Hades, you can get a Hades from the Hero Dungeon as well. Fire Hades is just fodder for the water one. Zubaji, you can pick up a Wood Zubaji. You can pick up a Water Xiao Jing. You can pick up a Wood Gilgamesh. Jormungandr, you can't get any of him, or Enkidu, I believe, and then Scheherazade just got into the game. But if I was going to pick one of those, it would probably end up being either Water or Wood at this point in time. But with the recent change to Onmyoji, it's like, at this point, it may be easier for some players to go with Onmyoji over Scheherazade, just for the simple fact that she seems at least a little bit more common in my opinion. So we've cleared those guys out. So really what you just want to focus on is something that can help with your progression. I would pick a Sapper over anyone else just because wave clearers do exist in the game. There's plenty of wave clearers. I have a wave clearers tier list video you can check out, and it doesn't include every single wave clearer in the game, but it just includes the most popular. Not saying that you can't use, especially like a Dark Mona that free players get when they first start the game. That is your perfect wave clearer right off the bat. We're not talking Fire Dragon level of wave clearing, but they're within the same tier list if I do recall. So they're within the same tier of the tier list. So you're pretty much set with a wave clearer. So I would pick a Sapper if I was a new player just starting out, like on my casual account. If I didn't already have Fire Persephone, then I would have went ahead and picked her But in the same fashion, we're not about that. Now, to the in-game players or the mid-game players, you don't need to worry about sappers. You should probably already have a sapper team or some type of team already for golems, B10, B11, maybe you're going up higher than that. So what you're focusing on is pretty much Titan Mons, which kind of eliminates a lot of things here, especially because of just how common they are for older players. Even if you like kept your fodder, congratulations, this girl has just went up by a ton in my book. Water Barona is another hard to get mon, especially Bass as well. So what I recommend to you guys is focus, especially if this is Titans orientated, focus on the teams that you have. Like, look at your teams and see if adding that water bass into my team, is that really going to help my damage in Titans? Is things going to be super duper good if I add in that water bass? Or should I work on a weaker version of Titans or a weaker team of Titans? Say for instance, I'm hitting water Titan, but I lack wood Merlin, or I only have wood Merlin like I do have, like I in this case have only wood Merlin. Should I pick wood Merlin? Because all of my other teams are, you know, they're not perfect, but they're obviously better off. Would my increase in Titans jump up exponentially with adding this one mon, or would it jump up just a little bit adding this one mon? That's the way that I tend to view things, because you can make, you know, here's the thing. You can make a already good team slightly better, or you can make a mediocre team good. That's the way that I'm looking at this. Now, if you only have the Astromons that are fit only for one Titan team only, especially as a mid-game player that's just getting their feet wet, obviously just stick with that Titan so you can do the most damage in that. But as a player that has pretty much a Titans team for every Titan in the game, in terms of facing them, what I'm doing is just trying to round up my damage against all of those, so me and the boys over in Kaizen can have a more equal footing in terms of damaging each Titan, which should propel us forward in increasing our Titan PB. Not saying that I'm doing any damage over there at all. We're not talking about that. We're just talking about the thought process behind it. So look at what will affect your team the most and what will be the most worthy for your team. In my case, I will be picking Wood Merlin, not only for this account, but also the Eileo account, because I already have wave clearers there. I have one Wood Merlin on my Eileo account. I have one Wood Merlin on this account. I have plenty of Zubajis. I have plenty of Enkidus. There's nothing super duper amazing about them. On my OG, I feel like I get on my OG common enough that I'm not super duper worried about it, even though I probably just jinx myself and I'll never get another wood one. But she seems to be at least a tad bit common in my personal situation here. I was thinking about a 4th water bass, but especially with the recent updates to things for my fire team, it's not super necessary. And as long as I have my 3 water bass, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal of taking my team to the next level in terms of my fire team, because I recently got my 3rd Barona, so I only need 1 more Barona. So there's no real point, at least in my opinion, for me to pick a 4th Barona, especially after I gotten a 3rd, when my wood team, well, when my team for hitting Water Titan is just so far behind. Like, I do have an Evo 3 Zubaji, I do have an Evo 3 Enkidu, I was using Wood Merlin, and I think also someone else that kind of sucks, so I can get rid of the kind of sucks and put in another Wood Merlin, and that should boost my damage up by a vast margin. We're not talking about, you know, quad Wood Merlins like people out there like Luca, but we're getting there. Like, I'd rather have a big jump in damage versus a minute jump in damage, because this may be a once in a lifetime thing, because they're not known to do this, and I'm actually surprised that they've done this. Now, for the people that aren't interested in Titans, obviously you could pick something that you would desire in a PvP situation, or something that you could use as fodder in PvP situation. But like Water Shahrazad, you could pick her for a PvP situation. But anyone else, it doesn't really seem that worthy to me. I mean, maybe Wood Indra as well, and that's about it. But I feel like Arthur's, Valkyrie's, Odin's #1 are super duper common. Once again, we can farm a lot of these elements of these mons out from a hero dungeon. So it's just a matter of pulling that fodder, which not pulling the fodder, but pulling the one that you want to use so you can use that fodder to Evo 3 them. And it's really not that big of a deal. Like, if I was going to condense this list down, I would literally take out probably like 90% of these Mons. Like, I would, like, this is purely from a Titan standpoint, but if I was just to like butcher everything up in here, I would say Wood Scheherazade, there's Fire Shinobi, Fire Wukong, Water Bast, Wood Merlin, Water Barona. And you can also argue Wood Amayoji. That's it. Those are the only Mons I would look at as either dedicated Sea Strikers or Sea Strikers that we can have on the left side to help make sure our right side can get some damage in. I mean, Wood Garuda is there too, but we don't really talk about Wood Garuda. But this is just coming from a player that I'm not a super duper Titans fanatic, but I don't mind it either. And there's really nothing else I need to choose from this ticket other than Wood Merlin at this point that would make me super duper happy. And this goes for both accounts because at this point in time, the Casualty account isn't able to hit multiple Titans well. So once again, like I said earlier in the video, I'm focusing on that one Titan, that one Water Titan that I know I can massacre, especially if I get another Wood Merlin, because everything else is pretty much built for that, at least from a noob cake standpoint, which is very, very important. So pick what you want that's going to maximize your damage either with your weakest team or maximize your progression in the game, aka a sapper, because sappers aren't going anywhere. And you know, don't focus on so much of, oh, if I get this one Mon, that's going to tweak my damage a little bit. Don't go for a little bit, you want to go for a lot. But that's pretty much it for my opinion of what you should select for your Nat 5 card. It's up to you to look at your Titans team, especially if you're a big Titans fan or interested in Titans, to see how you can make things go a lot better versus just a little better. Because these mods are obtainable through Heroes Festival. But your luck of getting the one that you want, well, we know how that goes. But I'm going to go ahead and pick Wood Merlin, you guys. And I have 100% no regrets about this whatsoever. And I did pull a Water Merlin super duper recently as well. So, yep, that's who I'm going with. Let's go over here and take a look at his skill slots, though. Okay, he has a square slot, but most importantly, he does have a triangle slot. So he's crit damage ready. I'm super stoked about that. And I definitely hope this video helped. If you guys have any more recommendations, feel free to leave them in a comment below. And I will see you guys later. Peace out.